Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Guys, first of all, welcome you all. And obviously, you guys have joined today, and we want this session to be beneficial to you guys and fruitful to you. There are many questions. I understand there are many questions basically that is going on in your mind. So, because many things you have been approached by many people have said different things. There is an opportunity, not an opportunity scope, there is no scope, there is no opportunity in the market. Like, you have listened even all good things and as well as all the negative things also. Let's put a full stop for that. We have our industry expert with us, that is Mr. Murty. Sir, welcome you, sir, for this today's session. And I welcome you guys all to this session. And when it comes to Murthy sir, we have been Murthy sir is an industry expert and he's a data scientist. And when it comes to industry, I can say he have a 20 years of experience. And whatever the questions you have, and who may ever have said many things, there is an opportunity, there is no scope for data science, there is no scope for AI, there is no opportunity and all. I think today, sir is the right person where he can answer all your queries also, and how exactly the career you can build in this particular field. And obviously we know we have sir, actually we have students who are from different background also. We
Mhm.
have students from the BA, we have students, because I think you know very well in your career you have seen many people from the arts, even from the other background, where they are right now into this industry.
Okay.
But the efforts, definitely it should be more what they will be what they're gonna put it. So obviously I think many people are there who are from that background also. I think I just wanted to let you know also they have
Okay.
many questions in
That's
the
interesting.
mindset. Yes,
That is
I'll tell you
interesting.
that, because whenever we used to talk to the students, there are many things like many people have confused students also, because 10 people have given 10 different review or the feedback about particular program or the career. No, there is no career for you, you can't do it after these many years, and only there is a scope for the freshers, not for this year of passing. There are many things. People
Okay.
are bit confused right now. That is how right now the student situation is all about. Since every day we speak to every student, right, they have many questions in their mind that someone said me this. One of my cousin is working in IT in this
Mhm.
particular field. He said it is not possible, or he said this is possible. So there are many things basically. I think once you start the conversation, once they start open up, right, I think you will be able to get those things also.
Okay.
And so, yes, sir, the stage is yours. Like, over to you.
All right. So, welcome everyone. I hope I have been introduced to you very well. Um, so we can do this session in two different ways. So we have an hour and a half in front of us. We can extend it longer if you have more questions. I have a PPT present with me. Okay. But we don't communicate very well when it comes to PowerPoint presentations. So PowerPoint presentations are very one-sided communication, in my opinion. Okay, so we can always make it a very interactive session. You can ask me your questions and I can walk you through the whole thing. Okay, I can start using a simple whiteboard in order to make you understand things. I don't have to take you through an entire PowerPoint presentation. So you can decide how we're going to be utilizing the next 1 hour, 1.5 hour over time. If nobody says anything, I'm going to go through my PowerPoint presentation, but it will lose something. So if you have important questions like what you were saying just now, right? If you have those important questions, really burning questions, ask them right away, and we will run through the entire hour on those questions. So the first thing that I want you to do is leave behind fear. Okay. At the same time, it is not going to be that easy to make a entire career in data science. There is no such thing as an easy career, right? So either even if you want to make a career as a actor or a cricketer or a politician, anything, there is no easy way to do it. right? But is it possible? Yes, of course it is possible. Okay. And we're not talking about the top data scientist in the world. We're talking about somebody who has a decent career. We make enough money, we make good recognition, we do good work, and we retire. After 40, 50 years, we're going to retire. That is what we're going to be working upon. We're not going to be talking about whether we're going to be billionaires or not. Nobody can be a billionaire. If I knew how to be a billionaire, I wouldn't be here. So let's keep things realistic. Okay, we're talking about good careers, careers that can expand over a very long period of time, and you learn new things, you develop new things, you have fun in your work. Those are the things that we should be focusing on. So, what do you say? You have questions, or should I go through my PowerPoint presentation?
Sir, I think I'll start with some
Okay.
questions. I think on behalf of students, I
Okay.
can say whatever the feedback that I have gotten with so many students, almost 1,000 plus students that I've spoke with. So,
Okay.
what are the major things and what expectation basically they carry when they come and approach us basically?
Okay.
So, I we are trying to educate more students over here that what exactly possible in the market and what not. Because I remember some students of ours like who have inquired for it. They have asked like immediately the moment I change it, I need 200, like I'm expecting 200% hike or 300% hike. And some other people have said that yes, I can get it. I can start it when even though I took a transition also, even though I'm taking the transition over here, I can expect a package of 10 LPA or 12 LPA. And right now, my package is 3.5 LPA. Do you think so? Is it really possible, sir? When it
Okay,
could
so
happen?
if you're expecting straight away 300%, 200%, 300% jumps,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you one thing. So people don't give you a salary for your skill sets. So that is the biggest lie people kind of keep believing in. People are not given salaries based on their skill sets. Okay. Don't you think there are lawyers who are making a lot of money? There are athletes who haven't even, past 10th standard and they're making a lot more money. So it is not about skill sets. It is about the value that you're bringing to the organization. Okay. So I'm not saying that there aren't people who have, just a minute, I'm trying to open this thing. Why isn't it opening the program now? Okay. So it is about the value you are going to bring to the organization. In fact, in most of the interviews, when you talk to the interviewer, when you're talking to the interviewer is not exactly looking for how much Python you know, how much Tableau you know. Okay. Again, at the same time, you cannot be a person who has no idea about Python or no idea about Tableau. But if you're average at Tableau, if you're average at Python programming, if you know something about uh, one or two machine learning algorithms, that is usually good enough. Okay. After that, what the interviewer is looking for is this person going to stick with me for the next 4 to 5 years? Can I trust this person to lead a team? If I am out sick, will this person take care of things? Will this person communicate proactively? So these are not all things which are certifiable, right? These are very inherent things. These are things that we learn inherently from our experience and other things. So once again, these are not skills that can be quantifiable. So a lot of times in the interview, when they ask, for example, the interviewer always asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" How many of you have? How many of us have a question for the interviewer? Even a simple question.
Yeah.
We almost never say, "I have a question. What is the organization like? What is the training in organization like? What do people do for fun in your company?" Even these simple questions never come out. We always say, "No questions, sir." And at
Yeah.
that point of time, that person basically thinks, I don't have a person has a very strong personality. That's all. So use those things. Okay. So in an interview, if you really want to impress the interviewer, don't add a whole bunch of projects which you cannot defend in the interview. Instead, when the very first question, tell me something about yourself. change the answer, right? Instead of repeating the entire thing on the CV and starting with your name, say this. Say, you probably know a lot about me from the CV. Let me tell you an interesting story about myself and have an interesting story to tell. Prepare on that story beforehand. How many people do you think do that in an interview? If you can do that in an interview, you are setting yourself apart. You are setting yourself significantly apart. At that point of time, even if your skills are average, you are shooting for the big box. You are shooting for the next level straight away. Because that person knows now that you are a proactive person, you are an interesting person, it is going to be fun to work with you, and then you will be hired. People do not get hired based on CVs. Please do understand that. People get hired because the interviewer sees somebody they can relate to. And at the same time, if you are getting rejected in interview, it is not completely your fault. Sometimes you're just not the right fit for that role. In fact, if you got that job, it would have been a very, very miserable job. So don't beat yourself up if you do not get through an interview. Okay. So we have to understand what organizations need. It is not always just a skill set. Okay. Don't think that if I know Tableau, I will get a job. That is not how things work. You will get a job because you know how to give business intelligence using Tableau. Tableau is not the skill set that they are looking for. BI is the skill set that they are looking for. Python programming is not the skill set they are looking for. Application development is a skill set they are looking for. It could be with Python, it could be with Java, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so we must first understand what is it that organizations need, what are the kind of projects that are running in the real world, what are the skills that I need in order to solve those problems. So we have to think from that point of view. Only when we think that from that point of view, how can I set myself apart? Then we will be able to build those, skill sets. We will be able to build those things. Did I make sense, everybody? Any questions?
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. I think this has been answered. You have answered many people's question basically. This is, I can give you the numbers also on this because here every day we are trying to educate the students on this, that there is a facts and figures where
Okay.
basically you have to focus on. It's not about, if I have to say, even we can also say that it's like very good amount of money where you can start with, but at the end of the day everyone have to face the reality at the end, right? Today maybe you may start slow, you may take one step behind, like one step where you can go behind, but at the same time next 2 years where you can see that 10 steps ahead, you can go ahead with that. So that's the growth where they can also see. And one more main thing, as I wanted to, like many people, many students question is like, how exactly I can build my career. So I have like, is that career gap gonna affect my right now the upskilling, even though I have done upskilling? Is this career gap is gonna affect whether I'm gonna get the opportunity or not? So this is one more biggest question that
Unfortunately, in India, unfortunately, the problem with the gap is that even if you have a legitimate response, even if you have a legitimate reason, the problem that is happening in India is that the HR teams will automatically drop them. In fact, it is kind of coded into these things and it gets dropped in. So unless your CV is directly going into a hiring manager's hand, which it does not, it is not because hiring managers are not interested with people in gaps. Okay, and in fact, there are a lot of these companies, especially for women who have taken break after their childbirth. There are a lot of companies who run these drives in order to hire them. When you are male and you took a break, which is more than a year, then there are some issues. But then we have to find hiring managers who will directly hire you. Or one thing you can do is look for internships. Okay. Get a 2 month internship, 3 month internship. It is better than staying unemployed. Get a 2 or 3 month internship. Prove yourself during those 3 months. Okay. Put in as much work as possible. Then you directly get hired. So those are the two ways you can kind of get over the career gap thing. So the career gap is not really a problem with the hiring managers or organizations, but there are these notions in HR people that if there was a gap, it was only because you got fired for something bad. It is not even that you got laid off. You got fired for indisciplinary reasons and they are not willing to take a chance. I don't know where this notion came by, but it is there. It has been told to me. So one way you can get above it, it is easier for women to kind of get back into work, relatively speaking. But for men, it is quite difficult. So the only approach you can take is find a hiring manager whom you know, okay, somebody who is hiring for you, get into any possible role and start proving yourself, or do an internship and start proving yourself. Okay, internships are easier to come by, but again, they will become difficult if you have already more than 15 years of experience, more than 10 years of experience, then questions will start raising. At that point of time, we can always say something like, you wanted to get into a startup or you had to take some care of your, we can always figure out those things. But the main issue is that your CV does not get into the hands of hiring managers. If it does, a lot of times we completely ignore. I have ignored that many times. When the CV has come to me directly, not through the HR, I have ignored. I would ask them what exactly happened. If they are honest, I'm fine with it. So that is not something that hiring managers have anything about. We all know that sometimes stuff happens. Even people get laid off. It is not entirely their fault, unless it is for indisciplinary reasons, for which there are background checks. In which
Yeah.
case, then it is difficult. If there is indisciplinary action on
Mm-hmm.
the CV, then it is difficult for us to kind of get into a job back. Otherwise, we can always figure out a solution.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Sir, I have one personal, right now, what I'm actually, based on what students said or whatever it is, like, I have one personal question over here. Everyone says there's a scarcity for the job. Is that true?
Can you repeat the question?
Scarcity for the jobs.
Capacity.
Scarcity. Scarcity
Uh,
of
yeah.
jobs.
So in general, right now, uh, so there is a scarcity of jobs for two main reasons. I will tell you both of those things. So one is there is a movement of automation using Gen AI going on. Okay. So a lot of jobs which were being done by people are getting automated using generative AI. A lot
Yeah.
of tools are coming in which are making things easier. That is
Mhm.
one way. And the second part is that there is a general recession that is going on, but it has been going on since 2015, so don't worry too much about it. There is a scarcity of there is a scarcity of jobs, not because work is not happening, but it is difficult to find people with the right skills.
Exactly.
And more importantly, not even skills, it is about finding people with the right attitudes.
Yes.
Okay. So I would rather work with the same four people and overwork them rather than hire somebody who is
Mhm.
going to make things even more difficult for the for existing people for me right now. Okay. So it is difficult to find people who have the right attitude and will become part of my organization. Okay. So that is more important than actual skills. Okay. But yes, there is a slight scarcity of jobs, but we also need to upskill ourselves. Generative AI is going to disrupt everything. We have to understand how to use generative AI. We need to know
Correct.
how to use generative AI for a whole bunch of other works that we do. Without that skill, we will not be able to survive. That
So
is
basically, what you're trying to say, if you learn basically how to run it, so I don't think so there will be any lack of jobs or something where you can make utilize of it.
so. The thing is, you will create your own. You'll create your own opportunities if you have generative AI, right?
Yeah.
So the main thing is, generative AI does not require any coding skills. It does not require any technical skills. It needs you to, however, have business skills. It needs you to have problem solving skills. Now,
Yeah.
that can be a person from anywhere. So, in fact, earlier you were saying something like there were BA graduates here.
Yes. Yes.
In
Yeah.
fact, I will tell you about this one startup that I was working with. It is called Nyai, NYAI.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it is ny.ai. So basically, they are doing automation of court proceedings. These are
Okay.
all lawyers. These are
Mm-hmm.
all lawyers who are doing automation of court proceedings. So, for example, if I have to set up, transcription of whatever the people are saying, the lawyers are arguing, and you want a full transcription of that. You want summaries of that. You want analysis of these things. If you want to automatically check for any sections or something like that, If you want to mask somebody's, for example, there is a witness and you want to mask their voice, an
Mm-hmm.
entire application can be created where everybody is basically presenting from home and you are running the entire court proceeding, significantly bringing down the delays in our justice system and everything. You can check it out. It is called ny.ai, Nyay. Nyay
Okay.
as in justice. So they are trying to automate Nyay or justice. So these are all lawyers. They are not engineers. You get it? So you don't really need technical skills to use AI to start building things. You need intelligence and business problem solving, you know, capabilities.
So
That is what
basically,
people are
what I
looking
understood over here is like there is when it comes to AI now, there is no restriction in the sector. I think you can implement if a person from the when it comes to data science and as well as AI, you
for.
can implement those things in your financial sectors, banking sectors, even hospitality. I think many things we are right now
We are going to be
implementing.
disrupting everything.
Exactly.
Everything is going to change. The way we are going to be using things is going to change radically.
Mhm.
And it is not affecting just engineers, it is going to affect everybody. But
Correct.
the additional thing is the people who have the biggest degrees, you have the same advantage as they do now.
Yes.
So, for example, if I have to write code, I can use Gen AI and I can write code as fast as the best programmer in the world.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
that is an advantage, right? So the advantage that person has been building up over past 20 years is now gone, isn't
Yeah.
it? So Gen AI is going to make a lot of things very democratic. Power is
Okay.
not going to be in the hands of very, very few people. It is going to be everybody has a chance now.
Yeah.
You want to build an application, Gen AI, using Gen AI, you can create everything. You want to create a business proposal, you can use Gen AI and create a business proposal in a day or two. With something which is going to take 3 months or 4 months with a whole bunch of teams, you can do it alone in a matter of a couple of days.
Yeah.
So generative AI is going to change everything. And even if you do not have coding skills, even if you do not have statistical skills, Gen AI will help you out. That is the biggest change that happened since 2020.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
this has caused some jobs to go down. But
Mhm.
whenever jobs have gone down, what happens is, so let me give you an example. Remember in the 70s and 80s, right? In the 70s and 80s,
Mhm.
there were entire floors of people, women
Mhm.
mostly, called
Mhm.
stenographers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these were people who were writing email, basically writing letters every single day. They were
Yes.
typists and
Yes.
stenographers, used to have entire teams of them. Where did they go? They all go? Those
Sorry.
jobs don't
No.
exist anymore, right?
Yeah.
Typist
Yes.
stenographer job
No.
does not exist anymore,
Mhm.
right? That is because we got Outlook. Everybody started writing their own letters.
Correct.
Entire jobs got replaced when computers came in, email came in. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that people became jobless. So
Yeah.
whenever technology comes, it only makes more jobs. It does not take away jobs. There is going to be a small period of time where it feels like there's a scarcity of jobs. But
Yeah.
in the long term, it just expands the market significantly. People have better jobs, people have higher paying jobs, people will get more jobs. The capacity of the economy completely changes, it becomes bigger. That is
Basically,
the way
we
we should look at
need
it.
to be fit for those particular jobs. That's how the opportunity.
We
We
have
don't
to
feel
ask.
that
Yeah.
lack of jobs and all. We don't feel that thing over there when we are fit to that particular positions.
So imagine a woman who decided, I am always a typist, I cannot learn computers. Yes, she went out of job, but everybody who learned the computers, they got paid 10 times more over time.
Yeah.
Right. So technologies will not take away jobs. Please do
Yeah.
understand that technologies will, in fact, increase the jobs, increase the
Jobs.
quality of the jobs. They will increase the money that you can make from those jobs as long as you understand the business. You need to understand the business processes. You need to understand the customer. You need to understand the user. When that happens, you can always use the latest technology to build a career for yourself.
Yeah, perfect. So, well, there's a one thing like we have all set of experienced people. We have some set of freshers who are just now getting graduate, or else who are in their last semester and all who are about to start their career. We have one like a set of students over there.
Mhm.
How particularly in this particular field, how the industry is gonna accept a freshers, like how they're gonna see the freshers, how are the opportunities, because freshers come with more a problem saying that everyone is asking for an experience. How come I'm gonna get the job? And experienced person have their own problems saying that I'm taking a transition. How they're gonna accept me? Because experienced feel freshers have better opportunity, but freshers feel experienced have better opportunity. So how exactly the market is gonna benefit
So
this?
what is the moral of the story? It is difficult to find a job irrespective of who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, women will say for men it is easy to find a job. Men will say for women it is easy to find a job.
Yes.
So those debates will never go anywhere. But let me tell you something. It is easier for freshers sometimes to get a job because your expectations are low. You can be trained, you can be taken into an organization, you can be molded however you want, and the salary that you would be expecting would also be low, right?
Correct.
Somebody with say 5 years of work experience already is making something. And once again, it is the HR that comes into picture here. They do not want to take let they don't will not they will not allow you to take a pay cut. They will not allow you to take a pay cut. They will give you a 10% or 15%, whatever increment there is. But
Correct.
they must have the budget for that. Because they will feel that if I'm getting somebody without actually giving them a hike, maybe somebody will look at it and say, you hired somebody bad. So they have to cover their own basis. So they will never get somebody with a pay cut. Again, this will only happen if it is going through the HR and not through the hiring manager. If you know
Correct.
the hiring manager and say, I'm willing to take a pay cut, but I want to work in data science and I will work from there, the hiring manager is more than willing to do that. HR, when they come into this thing, we also need to understand, I'm not demonizing HR here. There
Hmm.
are metrics for them to work to, and they have to work within those boundaries. And hence, we have a very weird situation that comes into our mind, right?
Hmm.
So now, freshers, if you have a very bad record academically, then it is going to be a little difficult to find that first job. Okay. But whenever you find that first job, you have to work twice as hard. We have to work hard. That is the only way to go forward. There are no shortcuts. Now, if you are a fresher, how do I get noticed? Okay. There are three skills that you need. If you can do data visualization, firstly, Excel is not a skill that you have to learn. Excel is something that they are expecting you to know. Okay. Excel, you have to know. There is no two ways about it. There are a lot of, what you call YouTube channels and other things where you can go learn Excel. Excel, again, it will take some time for you to learn, but they're expecting that you know Excel already. MS Office is not a skill set anymore. It is like English. You need to know English, you need to know MS Office. That is absolutely required. In addition to Excel, if you know data visualization is either using Power BI or Tableau, that is number one. If you know Python programming, core Python programming basics, that is something that you can pick up in a month or two.
Hmm.
Then if you know SQL, data visualization, Python programming, SQL, you have these three things and you say that you can do these things well. If they give you a test, you can pass it on the first attempt itself, then you are employed. If you're a fresher, have these three skills, data visualization, either using Power BI or Tableau. Both of these things can be gotten for free. The second is Python programming, that is also free. SQL, also free. All three of these things, these are the skills that you can pick up. Python programming, data visualization, they are literally what I do every single day. Okay. SQL, I haven't used it in a while, but I oversee data management teams. Okay, so database management teams, I do oversee them. I haven't done actual SQL programming in some time, but I have done that in the first few 5 to 7 years of my career. That was all I was doing every single day. SQL query, SQL query, SQL query. That is all that I was doing every single day. Okay. There are other skills like SAS, for example, but that is expensive. If you learn SAS, there is a market where you will get hired. But SAS licenses are a little expensive. SAS certification is like $200. So these are the things that are coming in the way. Python programming is free. Tableau and Power BI are free. SQL is free. So I try to focus on things which are free so that, even the smallest companies can afford them. And hence your skills are relevant everywhere. If I ask you to learn SAS, then your skills are only relevant in financial services sector only. Nobody else is using SAS. But then it will also cost you like 16,000, 20,000 rupees just for the certification. Forget about the licenses and everything else. So if you're a fresher, get these three things. Data visualization. Excel, of course, is mandatory. Excel, data visualization, Python programming, SQL. You get these three things, it'll take about 6 months to get these skills well. So many quizzes online. Take a quiz every single day once you have learned. Keep doing those exercises, keep doing those exercises. At the end of 6 months, you will be employable. Doesn't matter what your educational background was, if you are able to put these three things and impress them in the interview, that is done. So now coming to people with 5 to 7 years of work experience. What is the amount of experience we're looking at?
So we have people with, I think we have people, we got many people with 15 years experience and
15
10
is
years
going to be difficult.
experience. Like
15 is
average, we have like some 7 to 8 years of experience people that we
seven
have.
to 8 years is fine. But
Yes.
again, in that case, what I would say is don't jump from your current job, add data analytics as an additional skill in your quiver. Okay. So you are only upskilling. You are not going from, let's say,
Sorry
you're
to
not going
sorry
from,
to stop you,
yeah,
sir. And
yeah.
I have a one, like we repeatedly get these things. A person from 2001 passed out, two passed out. The thing is, we know the facts very well. As you know, we speak to you every day about what are the chances, because we don't want to give any fake thing or promises to the students. So we usually talk to you and we speak to the experts and placement team and everything. So we know the reality that whom we can place very well with the proper skill sets and the right skill sets. And at that particular time, people come with the hope that I got a hope from others, like platforms where even I can also get a job with this big package.
2001 pass out.
Yes, 2001 pass
I
out.
passed out in 2004.
Yes. So these kind of,
Uh, so, I
we
mean,
get,
I need to know what they were doing for the past 20 years.
they were into
This is a very
construction.
long time.
They were into construction. They were
Okay.
in non-tech, like completely hospitality sector, medical things.
Okay, so
And
they were working. So they were working. That is fine.
yeah.
If they were working, they have a continuous work line. Then in their own company, in their own business, data analytics can do a lot of things. So, for example,
Exactly.
if you are in hospital management,
Yes.
if you're in hospital management, you're doing nursing, you're doing a whole bunch of other things. Now, introduce data analytics into nursing, start taking up a job inside your own hospital. Now, that is a
Exactly.
perfectly good thing to do. Then
Exactly.
they are not, again, as I said, right, if you have a lot of work experience, 7 years, 8 years and above, make data science as an additional skill. Okay, improve your company's business. Once again, I say, you don't get a job because of the skills that you have put in your CV. You get the jobs because the value that you bring. At the 15-year, 20-year mark, you should have made a lot of relationships, right? You should have friends in places. If you are able to lose a job, there should be a friend somewhere who should be able to at least give you an internship, right? Freshers, I can understand you don't have any relationships in the industry, that is fine. But at 15, 20 years, you know people. You should be able to go talk to people. You need to be able to have a good understanding of your own business, right? How to run a hospital, how to run a construction company, how to go and make sales for, let's say, tiles or other things. These are skills that are
So
they
basically,
still have
it's like
value.
everywhere. As
Yeah.
like what it's like everywhere. Wherever you wish to implement it, you are free to do that.
Yeah, so if somebody has been selling tiles for 20 years, I would say that they are sitting on a very good skill set. And
Correct.
you add data science on top of it, then they will be very, very employable.
Yes.
So if that is the kind of work experience, if you have been not doing anything for 20 years, then nobody can,
We
you
have
know.
one learner over here, sir. So he have dropped a message in the chat if you can read it. So even
I don't see
I
anything. I
was
only see one.
Yes, I can. I was speaking about one of our learner also. So he was working in the past almost 20 years. He worked
Mhm.
as an analyst programmer and a project manager for 20 years. Experience specializing in Oracle, ERP, SQL, and database projects and all.
Mhm.
And then he actually got into the business for 12 years. After having 20 years of experience, then 12 years he was into business, which
So
is
is
like
it
a
32?
construction business. Sorry.
So he's at 32 years of work experience.
Yes.
So you're
And
52
now
years
he
old
would
now.
love to start looking for the opportunities. So what do you think?
I'm sorry to say, sir, 52 years, there is a bias against aged people in the industry. Really sorry about that. But if you have been running your own business, I think you should just get into the Gen AI business. If you've been able to run a business for 12 years, start looking for opportunities in generative AI. Even a small company with like 5, 6 people, you can start. In that case, so for example, I had this one student long back, I think around before this was pre-COVID, 2019. Okay. He was a very senior person in the BESCOM. BESCOM is Bangalore Electricity.
Yeah.
Okay. So he came and he took my 3 month, it was a 3 month crash course for business analytics. Okay. I asked him, unlikely that, at the position that you are, you will be needing any of these things. He said, no, that is not the case. I am trying to hire people for BESCOM, and I am unable to judge whether people have real analytics skills or not. So I want to take this course so that I can judge people, I can hire people better. So if you're sitting at 32 years of experience, you should not be looking for entry-level jobs at all. They will not be worthwhile for you. However, you can start hiring people and you can start building your own business. Since you've been an entrepreneur, continue to be an entrepreneur. An entirely new field has just opened up, right? Generative AI.
And he have an experience as an analyst programmer also. He have been
Yeah. So
like
that's what I'm
aware
saying,
of.
right?
Mhm.
But again, the construction, what exactly in construction, we have to kind of have a separate chat, private chat. Maybe
Mhm.
we can figure out something. But if you're an entrepreneur, you will not be happy coming back to a job. You will not be happy. I mean, there is no company that can satisfy you. You should start your own firm. And right now we're having a little funding winter going on, but it is going to come up soon as the elections are over. There is new positivity in the market and everything. I'm hoping by next year, this time, we are going to be seeing again, a whole bunch of startups coming up, new ideas coming up. All of these things will be Gen AI based companies. Okay. So that is my suggestion. But if he wants to talk to me separately, directly, I am available. Okay.
And
That is a very peculiar case. We should
yeah,
not be, I mean, this is an outlier,
yeah.
in general. These are not typical of what you expect.
Yeah, I'm happy that that he's still looking for that particular that he have still that energy and that enthusiastic
That
person
is,
where he
yeah.
want to do that. That's really good.
Yeah.
And still he's learning. He's learning many things like AI. He have never stopped learning or something. But yeah, at the end of the day, industry have some things like where
There are always going to be
exactly.
torrents in the industry, so we have to swim against them. There is
Yeah.
no option there.
I hope, Mr. Nag, you have got your answer. And we
Yeah.
have one question from Shobit Khanna. I'm also from a medical field working as a biomedical engineer. And
Mhm.
recently I done data science course.
Okay.
So Shobit, you can unmute yourself and you can speak what exactly you're trying to ask.
Javed, please go ahead.
Mr. Shobit, we didn't understood what exactly you're trying to ask.
Okay.
So yeah.
So let me tell you something about biomedical engineering. It is a fast growing thing. In fact, there were some predictions around the COVID time, right?
Mhm.
That genetic engineering is going to be a huge field and it is going to attract most of the investment. It
Mhm.
has been delayed, but it is not gone because right now we did not have the technology is at a very infant stage. It is in its infancy. So genetic engineering is something that is going to attract a lot of investment. It is a tough field. Not a lot of people can work there. If you have the data science experience, basically genetic engineering using AI, if you can do that, I have no idea how big that field is going to be. Okay. Second thing, biomedical engineering, typically, if you're going to talk about it, there is a field called IoT or Internet of Things. Okay. IoT is for when you're trying to extract data from sensors. So you put up a whole bunch of sensors. So for example, in a hospital, there are so many of these machines which are constantly taking input of information. And there are these air conditioners and oxygen tanks and other things which are constantly sending out information. You need to have automated analysis of these things. So we call that streaming data. Streaming data as in the data is coming every second. And hence you have to have real-time dashboards. Those dashboards must give people, action items, what to do next in case something happens. So IoT and genetic engineering, if you are a biomedical engineer, these are two fields that are going to be very, very huge. Okay, IoT and genetic engineering, both of them are kind of in their infancy. We're going to be living in a we're living in a world where there are going to be sensors everywhere. There are going to be sensors within our own bodies, in our cars. All of this information has to be transmitted efficiently. All of this information has to be stored efficiently, analyzed, and insights must be got out of these things. That is a huge field. So IoT and genetic engineering, they are also data science, by the way. So that is where we are. Does that make sense?
So
Shobit?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
we hope Shobit, we have answered your question. I think what I understood over here, the moral of the story is be fit to the job. Okay, with the value, please add on the value to that particular profile. And
Dhanda samjho.
yes,
I
yes,
would say
that's it.
dhanda samjho. Understand the business. Understand the
Exactly,
business. Then data science has a whole bunch of tools for you. Okay.
exactly.
You are not getting paid for having you get those little Bosch kits, right? Which
Yes,
have a drill and a screwdriver and all of that. You will
yeah,
not get paid for that. You will
yeah,
not get paid because happen to own a Bosch kit. You will get paid for fixing the AC. You'll get paid for fixing my electricity. You'll get paid for setting up solar cells on my terrace. So, what is the value that you can bring? What are the tasks that you can do? Not the skill sets you have in your CV. So you have to really understand that. So and anytime I do a course, I always focus upon use cases. I focus upon what are the problems this can solve. So when I teach you linear regression, where are the places where it can be applied? Logistic regression, where is it applied? I will give you examples of how it has solved a particular problem. Okay, it has to inspire something new. The next time you see a similar problem, you have to say maybe it is where logistic regression can be applied. Maybe this is a classification problem. Maybe we can use a deep neural net, something like that, in order to solve this problem, right? So, is it a deep learning problem? Is it a machine learning problem? I need to be able to answer them. That
uh,
is how we have to build up our understanding of problem solving. Again, you get paid for your not for your skill sets, but for your value that you're bringing. What problems can you solve? Okay, your problem solving mindset.
yeah.
In fact, take a look at the top people in any company, right? Most of them, they don't have very strong technical skill sets. They are the people who can negotiate very well. They can sell very well. They are the people who can build relationships.
So I can say that they will get paid for to think.
Yeah, it is, you have. In
Yes,
fact, with Gen AI, you are not going to get paid to do anything. You will
correct.
only be getting paid for the thought processes that you can do,
Process.
because everything else can be done by the AI.
Yes.
Okay. In fact,
I think, sir,
it is going to be difficult. Our jobs
yes,
are going to be difficult
I
because
have took students' time right now because I think this is beneficial. This is the major queries that every students have, like whenever they will be having a conversation. I want to leave the stage now for you. So over to you, sir. I think now let the students bit know how the things they will be learning and yeah, how exactly their career they can build the career and everything. Over to you, sir.
okay. So at this point, it's kind of pointless to show the PPT because we have answered all of those things. Okay. Let me see if I can.
How their journey will be, sir, over here in Eduinx. So how exactly they're going to start and their journey, how we are going to help them basically.
Okay. So let me explain what a journey in data science typically looks like. So what are the main skills that you need? The first skill that you need is statistics. Okay. So when I say statistics, it is two parts. Is everybody able to see my screen? Sorry, I don't think I'm able to see my screen.
No, sir. I think it's
Yeah,
your.
yeah, I'm just sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Can everybody see my screen now?
Yes, we can see now.
Okay. So the first part that everybody needs to know is it is a statistics. So you have what are known as descriptive statistics and you have inferential statistics. Okay. So this is the base of all data science. So 30 years back, when we were building uh, business intelligence teams or analytics teams, the only thing that was available for us was statistics. Okay. So when I say descriptive statistics, I'm basically answering questions as averages, ranges, okay, medians and modes and those kind of things. Okay. I am describing the data. I'm not really doing anything else. Inferential data is, you know, greater than, less than. Okay. I'm able to say, I'm able to answer questions like, is Puma selling better than Adidas? Over the past 5 years, is Puma selling better? Is Puma performing better than Adidas? So it is not just about identifying averages and ranges. Okay. It is about identifying if there is a significant difference. So we're going to be talking about significant differences. Okay. So just because the Puma is selling $2,000 more than Adidas doesn't mean that it is selling better than Adidas. These the difference has to be significant. It has to be statistically significant. In fact, you must have heard this thing, right? This expression. Is the difference statistically significant? Okay. So imagine there is somebody who is 6 feet and there is somebody who is 5 feet 11. Is this a significant difference? It is not a significant difference. But if somebody is 6 feet and somebody is 4 feet, it is a significant difference in height. So at what point does it become insignificant and become significant? So that is what inferential statistics kind of comes into picture. In fact, this gives you an entire field called A/B testing. A/B testing, if you can manage just this one skill, you have a whole bunch of jobs awaiting you in digital marketing. If you can just do A/B testing, if you can understand the concept of A/B testing and you can get the applications of doing A/B testing, there are a whole bunch of jobs available in digital marketing, everything from your TikToks and Instagrams and Facebook and everything. The basic idea is, where do I place something in order to get people's attention? That is caused by A/B testing. That is something that is solved by A/B testing. Okay. So it has inputs into web development and app development and everything. This is one of the most important skill sets that you can get from the least amount of information, least amount of knowledge, the maximum amount if you want to extract A/B testing, statistics. This is necessary. Okay. Statistics is a very vast field. Okay. So as we go ahead, we also talk in terms of correlations, causations, correlation versus causation. Okay. We understand how to clean data while getting all of that information from it. Okay. So cleaning of the data, organizing data, and analyzing data. Data and analyzing data. So this is what comes out of your statistics part. Then we have something called data visualization. This has been a this has been the key to every business intelligence team. Data visualization has been the key for every business intelligence team ever since I first started my job. The year 2004, when I started my job at GE, they were struggling to create simple bar charts and everything with Excel. Forget about anything else. Simple bar charts, simple line charts, but they were needed. They were hiring people who could do simple data visualization, and the thing has not changed to this day. Even now, we're using advanced techniques, advanced tools like Tableau and Power BI, but the need for data visualization is still there. This is yet another skill, your Tableau, Power BI, Excel. What else? You have ClickSense. You have from Python programming, you have Matplotlib, and you have Seaborn. You have something called d3.js. This is for people who can code in JavaScript. So while there are so many tools, what you can do with these tools is still the same. It is still the same bar graph. It is still the same pie chart. It is still the same line chart. It is still the same trend graph, scatter plot. Those things will remain the same. Okay. What you need is to be able to understand and picturize the data, because we don't like to see rows and columns of data, right? We want to see images out of the data. Images is what we understand. So that is where data visualization comes in. Okay. So statistics, data visualization, then comes the next part, which is basically your machine learning. This is where things start getting interesting and also difficult. So when I say machine learning, there are a bunch of techniques: linear regression, logistic regression. Okay. Then you have support vector machines. You have naive Bayes classifier. You have k nearest neighbors. You have cluster analysis. You have what else? Cluster analysis, support vector machines, k nearest neighbors, uh, decision trees, random forests, a whole bunch of algorithms, but they all follow the same, what you call, methods and techniques. Sorry. Sorry, I heard something. Okay. So things such as regularization. So these are not mathematical concepts. These are just common sense concepts. So regularization, dimensionality reduction, and feature engineering or feature selection. So these are, in fact, a lot of machine learning, a lot of data science comes from how we teach children, how we as children have learned. Okay. So for example, if I ask you, can you explain me why A is apple? Why is A for apple? You don't know. A for apple, that's all. Right? So how did we learn that? And how did we know that this shape means A and this shape means B? And this word means spherical. And the moment I say spherical, you are imagining something that is round. How is all of that happening? That is what we are trying to capture in machine learning. How do humans learn? Let's take all of those things. Let's try to write code so that we can make a machine learn. And eventually, what do we get? We get AI, right? If I do all of that, I get AI. If I am able to make a machine learn as much as a human can, I have AI, right? That is where this thing is. So in order to build AI, what people were talking about is we have to understand image. So we have to put a scope. I can't say that I have to make Terminator. I cannot make a robot. I cannot make a robot that comes and starts doing stand-up comedy. So let's get the scope properly. Image, natural language. Something is wrong. Just a minute. Okay. Natural language, sound. So these are the three things that humans do. We can see, we can speak, we can hear. If we can make a computer do these three things. So, for example, from sound, we got things like Alexa and Siri. That is called AI. From natural language processing, we got chatbots, ChatGPT, all of that. From image, we got our Google Lens. We got Google Lens, we got the Facebook tagging of our pictures, we got the automatic, facial recognition software and all of that. That is all AI. AI directly comes from the techniques that we learned over here in machine learning. Machine learning, when extended through deep learning, becomes AI. The way people have built AI is through machine learning. That is why machine learning gets so much praise, because when we were doing machine learning, we were not trying to build AI. We were trying to just try to predict what is going to be the revenue next year. I was simply trying to make you know simple charts and trying to predict what will be the revenue next year. I was trying to predict stock prices or something like that. From there, I got AI. This was not the aim. This was not the aim, but it came out. It was so surprising that AI came out of the things that we were trying to do. So in the course, what we will do is we are going to start with statistics. Okay. We're going to start with statistics. We're also going to start with Python programming, because everything, the language that we're going to be using is going to be Python. For everything, we're going to be using Python. You want to build AI, you need Python. You want to build machine learning, you need Python. You want to do statistics, you need Python. You want to build data visualizations, you need Python. So I will focus primarily on Python programming, but then make you understand the importance of statistics, importance of machine learning, primarily with the problem solving attitude. You must be able to solve problems, or else everything that you've learned is pointless. We have to first ask ourselves, what is it that I want to do? And hence, these are the skills that I want. Turns out data science can be applied absolutely anywhere. Data science can be applied. It is actually applied absolutely anywhere. It is applied in medicine, it is applied in engineering, it is applied in law, it is applied in literature. Simple things, right? It is applied in art, it is applied in movie making, music making. You can name any industry. AI and machine learning and statistics and data science are applied. If you have a domain knowledge and you add data science on top of it, you can solve the best problems in that domain. That is what we are going to be doing over the next few months, several months. Okay. So if you have any questions, I'm still available. We are at the top of the hour. We have a few minutes. If you want, we can extend it to another half an hour. I don't have any issues. Okay. I have to leave at 9 o'clock. So I have another half an hour, 40 minutes.
Guys, I'll request if anyone have anything where you had many things in your mind, like many queries and all, and I think this is the right time. You have a right person in front of you who can answer all your queries, whether I can do it or not, I can't do it, or else how is my things completely. Like I was just generally asking how the things are, but you can particularly ask about yourself, that how I can do it, whether the growth that I'm looking for, is it possible or not. Where I'm getting these kind of a feedback from many people when I said that I want to do this. So many people will give many feedback, many people will give many gyan. Okay. But at the end of the day, I think industry expert is the right person who can give you the clear clarity about how exactly the things are and how it is gonna be. Okay. So this is that I think you have an opportunity to ask if you have any queries or concerns with sir. It may be regarding your career, or it may be regarding how the what and all the things that you're gonna learn. It may be, I think many of you have got the brochure and everything. If you have anything like whether I'm gonna learn this or not, so even for anything, you're free to ask over here. I think we had one question from one of the students. So basically, she was asking that she is studying in the third year.
Mhm.
Yes, she is a third year student, BECSC, and any early roadmap to get started now.
CSE,
Yes, I think it's
computer science
Sonali.
engineering, right?
It's BE, Bachelor of Engineering.
Okay.
She's in like a computer science stream, and
Mhm.
she's a third year student. So
Okay.
she's asking like, but I think what is she trying to say? It is, can I start right now? early
You should have
roadmap.
already started. So basically, get yourself completely good with Python programming, okay, and SQL. Okay. I would highly recommend if you are a computer science person, I would first highly recommend that you get application development as much as possible rather than data science, because you can learn data science much easier. I want you to become a full stack engineer first. Get a lot of experience, because if you are a full stack engineer and a cloud engineer, you can learn data science much easier. Data science, you can do it on the side, but full stack engineering has to be done on the job. You have to get experience. There is no other way to learn it. So I would focus more on Java, application development, SQL, backend, front end, learn things like Figma and other things. Okay. So there, while you're doing all of that, you will find something that will really excite you. And the advantages to being a full stack engineer are that, you know, there will always be a job. However big the recession, you will always have a job. Okay. But yes, if you have decided to go into data science, then Python, SQL, learn PyTorch, learn TensorFlow, and get into the field of AI. Okay. So it is a hot field, but for some reason, I always say that, you have to be conservative while you're taking a job, and you have to be adventurous when you're looking out for the next job. So that is something that I always suggest.
Okay,
Because, yeah,
yes, we have one more question, sir. What is a realistic average package for a non-IT commerce student in data science?
that I would not be able to tell, because it also depends upon your current
I
package.
think we have to go through his entire
It depends upon your current
Ankit,
package,
if
and
you
it also, again,
yeah,
as I told you, right? Skill
yes,
won't get you a job. It
yeah,
is you who are demanding something.
yeah.
So if you're a So it is like this, right? You could be an engineer, but you could be an engineer from IIT, but you're only a five pointer, right? You're not going to be commanding a lot of salary. There are people in IITs, in the top IITs, top five IITs, who are not getting placed. There are people in the top five IITs because they did not do anything for those 4 years. There are people in those five IITs who are making 2 crores, 3 crores, even 5 crores as a starting salary, because they spent those 4 years completely grinding. They had an answer for everything. They are motivated, they are driven. The same class, same college, two people, how can you have such a big difference? That is because the money is not going to your college degree, the money is not going to the skill sets that you have, it is going to the person. They saw something in that interview and they said, I'm going to give you 2 crores, I'm going to take you to US. The other person said, I don't think I can give you a job. They are both from the same class. How can there be such a big difference?
Exactly.
So please understand that it is your value that will get you the money. Even if you're not getting the money today, in 5 years you will make it. You have to spend that time. You have to, yeah, you will get skills only when you practice. Virat Kohli was not made overnight. In fact, he was at one of his worst slumps in 2012, 13. He completely changed himself. He worked on it for 10 years before he got to the place where he is today. Right? So greatness doesn't happen overnight. It will take a lot of time, lot of struggle. I can promise you one thing. In 10 years, with the skills that you learn here, you will be making a lot of money. In 10 years, I can guarantee that. But will you get it right away? I don't know. I can't promise anything. It also depends upon you as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think where we have to do that entire study on his profile and everything. That's how I think the
And let's get
way
you a
we
job where you're going to be happy and you're going to, jobs are supposed to, you will be spending 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 plus hours of your waking time. After a job, you basically go home, eat and sleep. When you're doing so much, you should find a job which will make you happy. You cannot be miserable throughout. That will destroy your life, destroy your health. You should find something where you feel that you're contributing. You should find a team that appreciates you. You should have people that you tolerate. Okay, they should like you. Those are all important things. You should not just look at salary.
I think you should love your job.
You should love your job. You should love your. You should have a good feeling in the morning when you have to go to work, even if it is work from home. You should have the right attitude, right? We should wake up well. We should not feel like, kya ho raha hai yahan pe? Why am I doing this job? I don't want to do this. I am only doing this for salary. If you have that kind of a feeling, then it is going to be difficult.
I
Okay.
think we are seeing like so many memes on that right now, like many things where people wake up and they're coming office just after coming office, they feel like, Arey, who will do a job? So, let's have a lunch. I'm
In
feeling
US, a lot of
so this
people
kind
are
of
quitting their jobs to take up a lesser paying job so that they can get more time with family. They are
correct.
taking 30-40% cuts. They don't care. They don't want to go to work where they are miserable. They are taking 30-40% cuts because they want to spend more time with their family.
Yeah.
Or they want to move somewhere where they can just play with their dogs, you know?
So I have basically, if I have to say something, I have that experience also, sir. So basically, I have seen in US people who are actually done masters and all, but still struggling for a job over there. But person who have done a BE in India and he's earning crores together over there. I've seen those people. It's not about where you. It's not about that. Just you have to learn, you have to find a right platform, you have to add where that can add a value to your career, which is very important. I think end of the discussion also I can say it, add value, choose a right platform, go ahead with that where that can add value to your profile.
Yeah. See, again, the problem is when we say the word value, right, it feels like a gassy word.
Yeah,
It doesn't have any inherent despite having the word value, it doesn't have any inherent value. I'm not saying anything practical. So it alienates a lot of people, right? So instead of saying value, I will say build problem solving skills, or
correct.
build relationship skills. Now, these are things, those are real value.
Yeah.
Having real relationships that matter, that is important. Okay. You should be able to call somebody. For example, my earlier boss in Dell, right? He has been there for almost 25 years. Any problem we had, he knew whom to call. He knew everybody in Dell, worldwide Dell, he knew everybody. So he could just call up. Those were the relationships that he built. So any project that were to come by, if he had to build a new project, right? If he have to build a new organization, he would be the first person because he knows this person can do this person can do this. I can put together teams. Now that comes because of relationships. Over 25 years, he has built relationships, he has managed relationships. Even after I have moved out of Dell, it's been almost 3 years now. He still gives me a call on my birthday. Okay, every once in a while we catch up. He'd ask me what is happening in your life. I know what is happening in his life. Those are relationships.
I
The
think
next year, yeah, network building is
network
important.
building is like it will actually work like anything for everyone. You never know, some you are you were working with that particular person some 5 years back, but you never know, you suddenly you got a call and said that, Arey, hey, I have an opportunity, why don't you come over here? So you never know how exactly the network building works for everyone.
So 5 years down the line, if he has something for me and he thinks of me, he will call me and he will say,
Definitely.
I have an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
So problem solving skills, relationship skills, management skills, time management, communication, these kind of skills. They are the things which we call value. So when I say value, these are the things that I want. I want you to have team building skills. I want you to have relationship skills, communication. When do I send out an email? How do I send that out? Okay. If something is about to go wrong, I know that in 2 weeks, I'm not going to be able to deliver. Should I tell now or at the end of 2 weeks? I will
Yeah.
tell now. I
Yeah.
would try for help right away.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for the deadline on that day, say, no, I'm not able to do it. I will make a cry for it right now.
Yeah.
Project management skills, things like agile, PMP, they are extremely important skills. So when I say value, these are the things, you should have relationships, you should have communication, project management skills, problem solving skills, and of course, some technical skills, because in the end, you still have to do something, right? And then technical skills. The technical skills are on top of these things. Technical skills can be easily learned. Project management skills takes years.
Yeah.
Relationship management takes years. Those are things that you have to work on regularly, right? So that is
So
what when I say value, that is
yeah,
what
and
we would bring
basically,
in.
sir, one more thing. Like many people do the mistakes, like with the urgency that where they have to get into IT, they want to like come out of the job where they are not happy with that, where they're struggling to do the job right. With that, right? people will actually get into something where they actually end up with making a very big mistake also.
Okay,
So
so that is why if you're miserable at a place, I would say you have to get
exactly.
rid of it, but
Mm,
also be practical because again, once you get a break,
mm.
difficult to get back into a job.
So what do you think about that, sir? Because majority of the people, I think
I would
you
say be
have
smart about it.
very
I
yeah,
would just say be smart about it. Okay,
yeah,
you are not happy with it, then let's pick up where you are. Let's identify what you are doing right now. Let's build up your CV. Let's get you some skills. Okay. We also have to identify why you are unhappy in your current role. Is it because you have a bad boss? Is it because you have a bad team? Maybe in the same organization you might be happier somewhere else, or is it because of just the money? We have to look at it individually. Okay. But if you are miserable at a place and you know that you're miserable at a place, you have to get out of it. Be smart about it. Let's work towards it. Let's get you some skills, build up your CV, find you a job, then skip that job, then leave that job. Don't be unnecessarily emotional. Don't do the things that people do on TikTok videos and in Bollywood movies. Please don't do that. You have to be practical. Life, we have to be practical. Don't quit your job in a hurry. Don't quit a job in, I want to throw my, papers on my boss's face. I want to ask my boss to get lost. Don't have those, no, don't have those emotions. What is that? Don't have those, what is the word I'm looking for? Fantasies.
fantasies. Yeah,
Right? The moment you tell off your boss, there is going to be something bad on your exit interview. These records are real. Don't do those things. If you hate your job, fine. Tell him, sir, I don't like the way you're working with it. I'm leaving your job. I don't like the way you promised me something last year. You did not give it. Be polite. Be, uh, be a proper person. Have some manners and all that, and you leave. You don't have to call him after that. Okay, but don't mess up your record in the company. You
yeah,
may want to come back to that company sometime in the future. Don't burn bridges. Okay, so be
yes.
smart about it because I have also made those mistakes. I don't want anybody else to make those mistakes.
And
There are certain places I can't go back.
yeah, and one
Yeah.
more basically major mistake that I see also, sir, with last 15 years of experience in the edtech and all. So people want to have everything so fast. I want to learn in 1 month. I want to do it in 2 months. I want
So learning
everything
doesn't
in two
happen like
months.
that, right?
Yeah,
Can I become a fast bowler in 1 year? Let's say
no way.
I'll give myself 1 year. Can I become a fast bowler like Bumrah in 1 year? No, you can't. You just can't. The brain can only take up so much information in a day, right? You can learn a lot by putting half an hour every day for 2 years, than putting 8 hours a day for the next 1 month. You will not learn it. You can sit 8 hours a day for the next 1 month, nothing will happen. But you put half an hour a day for next 2 years, you'll become one of the greatest people in that field. If I
Correct.
can play piano for half an hour every day for 2 years consistently, all my goals will be taken care of. But I sit for 8 hours on one day, nothing will happen.
Okay.
So the mind and the body works differently. You are not
Exactly.
going to be learning things in a month. Everything good takes time. You
Yeah,
have to be patient. You have to be realistic. If you have made mistakes in the past, you may need to understand that and you have to stop making those mistakes in the future. Okay. There are no magic bullets. I'm really sorry, but there are no magic bullets. What we can promise you something realistic. I will get you, if you're a fresher, I'll get you an entry-level data science job. That is good. You'll be in a place where you will be respected. You will get good technical jobs. The workplace would be safe.
really good.
You'll probably get opportunities to work outside. You will get proper opportunities to go abroad. Okay. It all depends upon you again. What we are promising you are the basic set of skills that are necessary in every industry.
Yeah.
These are skills that are necessary. We will help you get those skills well. Once you have that, okay, then start building your career. Careers don't happen overnight. I
Yes.
won't say my career hasn't lasted since last month to now. My career has lasted from 2004 and it will last another 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So 40 years. Careers take 30, 40 years to build, not 1 month, not 2 months. Those are unrealistic things.
Yeah.
But at the end of 40 years, I'm sure I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be quite well off. and I
Correct.
will have a reasonable retirement. I have another 20 years to go, right?
So basically, even it's very good that it's okay when you are its initial stage. If it is you're going slow, that's completely fine. But have that slow and steady kind of a life. So where in the future where we can expect that particular growth that you
Yeah,
are.
my first salary was 2.5 lakhs in 2004. Trust me, even in 2004,
Mine
it
is
was not
like
a lot of
only
money.
9,000. My
Yeah,
job is like
I was
9,000.
getting like 15 or 20 or something like that. I don't remember because it was not even in the tax bracket. Even back in 2004, it was not in the tax bracket. So, but over 20 years, it has bloomed. It has become a big enough amount. Okay.
Exactly. Just
And
patience. Be
you have
patient,
to have
guys.
patience
That's it.
because you also need to understand how things grow. Compound growth is an important thing. We are getting 10% every year increment. Even that will be a lot over
Correct.
20 years, right? So you need to understand mathematics for them. Every once in, again, there are people, for example, in my friend circle, who change jobs very frequently in the beginning, and their salary went up every time they were getting 25% hike, 25% hike.
Yes,
Now they are in a miserable job from which they cannot move because they have changed 8 to 10 jobs. They cannot be trusted.
exactly.
They have to be in that job. Nobody else is going. Every time anybody looks at their job, you took so many hikes, and now their salary is actually lesser than mine.
Yes. Slow and steady wins the race.
No, that is how things work. They
Exactly.
they don't have any relationships.
Yeah.
Every year, if you're going to jump a job, you're not staying in a place long enough to build relationships. You don't have any friends. You haven't understood any one company. You haven't understood any one business. So at the end, you actually, despite, and in fact, your salary is so high, it is unsustainable.
Yes.
So who is going to get fired? The first thing, the person who has the highest salary will get fired because they're not worth it. They're too expensive.
Exactly.
I can keep 10 people at 2 lakhs rather than one person at 20 lakhs.
Yeah, that's how even I have experienced those things. I've seen those examples that why I have to pay these much of salary to that person. Let me
And they're
take
not
uh,
doing anything. So
exactly
if I'm being paid 20 lakhs, the company is expecting at least 1.2 crores from me. At least.
that's from them.
I have to be making a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Or else there is no point, right?
Yes. So I think everyone have got their answers and whatever they were looking for basically. Guys,
Hopefully. Yeah.
still you have 2 minutes. If anyone have any queries, you can unmute yourself and you can ask to sir any queries you have, or else we can wind up the session.
Hello, sir. I'm
Yes,
Sai
sir.
Kumar. I'm a recent MCA graduate. Even I'm applying continuously for jobs in LinkedIn, Naukri,
Mhm.
Glassdoor, but there is no response from the
What is your
applicant.
graduation in?
MCA, sir.
MCA.
Yes, sir.
Okay, MCA should have a lot of value. There should be a lot of demand.
Yes, sir. I'm trying continuously, but there is no
We'll look at
response.
it. We'll look at it. Don't worry about it. We'll look at it.
Yes,
We'll work on your CV. We'll again try to understand, why there is an issue, why it is not going through. There could be many reasons why CV is not going through. We can fix it. Don't worry.
yes, sir. And also, I have done some service now basic certifications,
Okay. What kind of certifications?
uh, system administrator and developer. Sir.
Okay, so you want to get into database administration?
Yes, sir. That.
That is not a bad place to be. So maybe you have to kind of work a little bit on your SQL. You have to
Hmm.
highlight some of these things. So SQL, NoSQL, those kind of
Yes, sir.
things, and maybe some unique certifications if you can have. That will kind of put you in place. So
Yes, sir.
add some bash shell scripting or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have to also highlight. You have to highlight these skills. That is important.
Yes,
Okay. There is a way to write a CV because maybe some of these things are not getting highlighted, they are not getting picked up. Okay, so
yes,
we'll
sir.
take a minute.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
now anyone else?
Um, I hope no one have any queries, sir. Thank you so much for today's
Thank you.
session. It was really very beneficial to everyone over here because when it comes to data science is such type of a course where you find freshers, average experienced person, 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 15 years, and everyone really that particular batch or the students, it's actually even we also feel really happy to teach those particular batch, because when you meet all kind of people with all the experience from the different background and sector, just we can imagine how much of big network that we are able to build it over here. It's not about just us, it is about the students between them itself. So obviously you never know, as I already said, how people will be helpful for the other people in the same batch. So you never know about it.
Relationships matter.
Relationships definitely matter. I think if I say about myself, the entire career is from my first organization, people still remember me because of the work and the relationship and the support which we have been providing to the subordinates and as well as to the colleagues that they work with us. I think, and the responsibilities that we take it. If people are paying us that salary, we have to make sure that we have to always make them realize that we are worth more than that. That's all possible with the value that you add on to the company and as well as your profile also and as well as your work. So
Yep.
with this note, I want to wind up the session and thank you so much, sir.
Thank
And
you. It was a
definitely,
pleasure.
I would request you, if any of the students, I have just mentioned my number over here, guys. If anyone would like to talk to sir personally on that, I can arrange the call also. And anyone, if you want to inquire about the course that we are providing, we are launching the batch. We are starting our batch from the next month, first week. You're free to connect with me and get more information what we are providing. This is just a trailer. So picture to abhi baki hai. So with that note, I just want to end up this session. And definitely one thing I want to promise that definitely we are not a magicians and we are also human beings. And in order to make this success, we want your support. If you work, if we work, that's how we are gonna make this a big success. So with this note, I want to end this today's session. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all the participants who have actually spent their 1.5 hour basically for this particular session. And I hope this session you got enough information that can actually help you to take a right decision, not to take a wrong decision with urgency that let me get into the IT first. Okay. So with that note, thank you so much. Have a good night. Take care. Good night. And
Thank
have a
you.
happy weekend to
Have a
everyone.
nice weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you so much, sir. Thank you,
Thank
everyone who
you.
participated today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.